Well, tonight, the acting White House chief of staff says the Democrats will never see President Trump's tax returns. One California lawmaker has a plan to force his hand, but KPIX 5 political reporter Melissa Kane says it could have some unintended consequences in 2020.
Show us the Mueller report, show us the tax returns, and we're not walking away just because you say no the first time around.
House Democrats are demanding the president's tax returns. But today, acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney said that is never going to happen.
You believe Democrats will never see the president's tax returns?
Oh, no, never.
Utah Senator Mitt Romney said today that the president should disclose his tax returns, but Democrats can't force him.
Going after his tax returns through a legislative action is moronic. That's not going to happen. The courts are not going to say that you can compel a person running for office to release their tax returns.
But that's exactly what California lawmakers are trying to do.
When it comes to electing the President of the United States, the most powerful person, frankly, in the world, we need to make sure we have full transparency and we know who it is we're electing.
Bay Area State Senator Scott Wiener is a sponsor of SB 27. That's a bill that says if you're running for president and you want to be on California's ballot, you have to publish 5 years of tax returns.
So it would be in place for the 2020 presidential election.
But there's a catch. It only applies to the presidential primary, as law professor Gowri Ramachandran explained in a committee hearing.
For example, if Mr. Trump fails to comply with SB 27 in 2020 and he does not appear on the primary ballot in California, so long as the Republican Party nominates him, he will still appear on the general ballot.
So far, President Trump has no mainstream Republican opposition, so he may not even need to be on California's primary ballot. But you know who does need to be on California's primary ballot? Democrats. In their crowded primary, every state is a battleground. Now, some candidates like Kirsten Gillibrand, Amy Klobuchar, and Elizabeth Warren have already disclosed many years of tax returns, but others have not. Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Beto O'Rourke, and Bernie Sanders have so far released little or no tax information. Melissa Kane, KPIX 5.
Federal law says the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee can request any tax return and the Treasury Secretary will furnish it. But the committee has to keep it private unless the House votes to make it public. Pursuant to that law, the committee chair sent a request last week for 6 years of the president's tax returns. But Mulvaney says the IRS has to protect the president's privacy.
One of the fundamental principles of the IRS is to protect the confidentiality of you and me and everybody else who files taxes. They know that.
Treasury Secretary Mnuchin has until Wednesday to respond to House Democrats. In a congressional committee hearing last month, he said his department will follow the law, but will also protect the president as it would protect any individual taxpayer.